Hello everyone, and welcome back to Triangle Strategy. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and when we last left off, we had successfully completed Chapter 3, Part 1, Whither the River Flows, where we had selected our route of action. And we're going to Hyzant to see what we can learn about the Ministry of Medicine and Frederica's origins, among other things.
By order of King Regna, Serenoa escorts their esteemed guests back home, beyond the forest and over the mountains to a vast, sand-swept land. Before long, a grand wall of stone rises before them. Known as the Goddess's Shield, behind it lies the source, Nozelia's only supply of salt. Upon the lake shores of the source towers a giant likeness of the goddess, ever watching over the flourishing city and the palace below. This is the holy state of Hyzant.
Chapter 3, Part 2, A Land of Sand and Sun. I'm so excited. This is such a cool area, so I'm glad to be able to show it to you guys. And then I'm excited to get to whatever happens afterwards. There's got to be so much game here.
I had heard tales of the goddess's shield, but its grandeur surpasses even my imagination.
Like, just these set pieces are
It
so
protected
nice.
the holy state from both Glenbrook and Esfrost during the war. None in history have succeeded in breaching it. Do you think you might fare better, Lord Serenoa?
A big ask, my guy.
I think penetrating these walls would be nigh impossible.
A most courteous answer. I should have expected as much.
Big old gong going off.
What's that sound?
Could this be?
Time for prayer, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this the hour of worship I've heard so much about?
Indeed. Hyzantians offer their prayers up to the goddess's statue every day. They thank her for her blessing, for bestowing us with the source, from which all Norzalia's salt is harvested.
To see every citizen pray is astonishing.
The goddess truly is at the center of all Hyzant, just as the stories say.
Definitely a holy state. Like, religion is big here.
Even so, are there none who'd use this time of worship to rob their fellow citizens?
I love that question. Like, of all of the places that Eredor could go, in terms of, like, what could happen during this time, he goes straight to robbery. Like, what a specific question. It's odd.
There are none so misguided among the goddess's believers.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All Hyzantians are guaranteed food, clothing, and shelter. The holy state has done everything in its power to eliminate poverty and ensure equality. As a result, no one envies others or craves riches for selfish reasons.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Certainly if everyone were equal, there would be naught to fight about.
But achieving absolute equality is impossible.
Yeah, I'm with
The words
Benedict
of
on
an
that one.
unbeliever. The goddess showers her blessings fairly upon all who follow her teachings.
Yes, that's why you're decked out in gold and decadent fat, Sorsley. Meanwhile, everyone else is looking a little bit less magnificent.
Before we visit the Hierophant, there is one thing I must tell you about Lady
Oh, God.
Frederica.
All right. Here we go.
Under normal circumstances, the head of our nation would not permit an audience with one of Rosellan extract. We have explained the circumstances, however, and she has been granted special permission to enter the palace as an envoy.
That said, we would ask that Lady Frederica remain silent before the Holy One.
Ooh.
Silent. Why?
I reiterate that typically she would not be so much as allowed to attend. We ask for your understanding of our creed.
You mean to treat one of Glenbrook's delegates as if she weren't even there?
Yeah, I'm with Roland on this one.
Prince Roland, you are here in secret. It would not do for you to gainsay another nation's religious creed.
There's gainsay again.
I have no objections.
My apologies.
You needn't apologize. Let us do what we came here for.
Oh, no, I don't like that, man.
We appreciate
That's
your
not right.
understanding. Now then, let us show you to the palace.
Well, this is quite fancy, isn't it?
That is where the Hierophant resides.
The Hierophant imparts us with the goddess's divine messages. None are allowed to look upon the Holy One's face. None save Minister Edor, who conveys their divine words to us.
I do love this guy's voice.
Pardon our intrusion. Lord Serenoa Wolfort of Glenbrook has escorted us home on behalf of King Regna.
Exarm Marciel. This guy, man. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that I could look at people's profiles. The Hierophant, leader of the Saintly Seven and oracle of the goddess. Little else is known about the Hierophant, whose true form is shrouded in mystery.
The Hierophant speaks to you.
Edor, one of the Saintly Seven and the only one permitted to hear the voice of the Hierophant, Minister of Religion.
Serenoa Wolfort, we thank you for your gracious gesture.
How much do you want to bet that there's actually no one in there and Edor is just the one running everything?
We are overjoyed and humbled that you have chosen to grace our nation with your presence.
I am unworthy of such high praise, but honored nonetheless.
House Wolfort and Hyzant have shared a deep bond ever since the Sultan War. On behalf of the Saintly Seven, it is my wish that our friendship will be as strong as it was with your Lord Father.
But of course, I strive to one day measure up to his greatness.
You will also, in time, succeed Lord Simon as advisor to the mining venture, I hear. The Hierophant would hear your true thoughts on the endeavor.
Oh boy, oh boy. More decisions to render. I think it is significant step. I got thrown off because Trixie jumped up on my desk. I think it a significant stepping stone towards peace between the three nations. I think it a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone. And I fear the intentions of the three nations are not aligned. I sense a storm is brewing on the horizon. Again, I don't think Sereno would be predisposed towards such negativity. That seems like it would be quite the leap to make, especially in the hall of one of the three nations that is involved in this thing, and the one which we know was the most hesitant to get involved. I think it a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone.
I think it a valuable endeavor that will fairly profit everyone.
Certainly. The Holy One shares your opinion. If benefit spreads evenly throughout the land, peace and happiness will follow.
And yet creating an equal society that all will accept is no easy task.
That difficulty is precisely what makes it worth doing. Together, let us bring true peace to Norzelia.
Let's see if it works that
always
way.
Watches over those who believe in her. May you all receive her divine protection.
I apologize for visiting you in secret, but there's something I must ask you.
Oh boy.
I have heard that the people of Hyzant live in equality. They say the goddess showers blessings upon those who follow her teachings. But is that the only reason?
Oh, a studious one you are, Prince Roland. King Regna has raised you well. Of course, the goddess's teachings are at the core of the equality our citizens enjoy.
But
there are many measures taken by the Holy State to ensure the happiness of our people.
Such as
Minister Lila's Ministry of Medicine, which dedicates itself to the study of preserving life, is another example of this.
I want to know who this guy's voice actor is, because he's awesome. Look at him. Look at him. Kamsal Farant, Minister of Domestic Affairs. I'm pretty sure this guy should be the Ministry of War Leader or whatever it is that X-Arm is. Like, look at him. That is a man who's raring for a battle. The Saintly Seven's Minister of Domestic Affairs. He manages all matters related to the nation's public order.
The results of their research have allowed many people to overcome illness and injury and live long, healthy lives.
Fascinating. I would like to hear more about Hyzant's medical discoveries.
That is one of the reasons we chose to come here.
I see we managed to pique your interest. Minister Lila, I leave our guests in your capable hands.
My question is, we've heard at some point from all of the members of the Saintly Seven, except that shrouded individual in the top right corner of their little group, standing directly under the incense burner next to that purple curtain. Who are you, good sir and or madam? And what is your play? Are you the spy master? Show your face!
Pray, show them around the ministry, and let them admire Hyzant's pursuit of life and magic.
Okay. I mean, I guess we didn't really need his permission, because Sorcery also just said to give his name and they would let us in, but you know, whatever. Oh, what is this? A little bit of a hidden event over here? Franny and Cordelia talk about their brother Roland in his absence. Well, let's just get a little sneak peek of what's going on back here, why don't we?
Brother, where is Roland? I've yet to see him today.
About that.
And you shan't, for he has left. Took it upon himself to join the mission abroad.
He did? I see.
Again, prioritizing his personal wishes above his station. Is there no end to his selfishness?
You haven't any love for him, have you?
Love. I would rather think of him as little as humanly possible.
Oof. Ooh. Wow. You would seek to replace me as his brother? I would prefer to think of him as little as humanly possible. Getting two very mixed messages from Franny here. Obviously, one said in the presence of others and one said in the secrecy of family, but damn, ouch. Ouch.
How can you say that? He's family.
Right?
Royal
Cordelia,
family,
seriously.
And our duty is to the crown above all.
Oh my god, this guy.
Do not look to Roland for inspiration if you wish to carry yourself in a manner befitting your station, dear Cordelia.
Brutal. Brutal. Old Franny is. Jeez. Alright, anything else that we need to see here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, onward to investigations in Hyzant. This is a very cool setting, though. I do really like just everything about Hyzant's presentation. I'm sure S-Frost would be super cool to see as well, but...
Look, a Rosellen. I heard she's an envoy from Glenbrook.
Do you have a problem with that, Buck?
Be that as it may, is her kind even allowed to enter our halls?
Easy there, my guy. Let's relax with the casual racism here, Plinius. Who are you? Plinius Nevest, Ministry Researcher. A researcher at Hyzant's Ministry of Medicine. He feels frustration in not being able to choose his own research topics. Fair enough.
I can only assume she received special permission, since Minister Lila's showing her around.
Yes, did you see Frederica's head turned towards him? She's listening.
Ironic, considering the wishes of us researchers are hardly ever granted.
Yeah, he was just talking about that. Poor Frederica, man.
What a splendid facility you have here. I can see why your nation excels in the medical arts.
Normally, only ministry staff are allowed in. Having outsiders view our work is unprecedented.
We cannot thank you enough for your generosity.
If I heard correctly, it sounds like you are researching life itself.
That we are. In order to cure illnesses and injuries, we must set our sights high.
Even illnesses deemed uncurable in other nations?
There is no miracle panacea in this world, but we like to think nothing is impossible.
Benedict, I think, suddenly casting his mind back to Lord Simon and his heart condition.
Wonderful. And would you be willing to share those results with others, should you achieve them?
If you believe in the goddess's teachings, yes. At least, that is what I would expect the Holy One to say.
But what would you
Minister
say, Lila?
The preparations for the experiment are complete.
Reticent researcher.
My apologies, but I must get back to work. You are free to take a look around. However, I ask you to not enter the restricted areas.
Fair enough. Ah, it's Corentin.
Of course. Nothing is free in the Ministry, nor anywhere in Hyzant.
Corentin was one of the playable characters
And
in
of
the
course,
original
when
demo.
people are forced to adhere to teachings, there are some who will resist.
What are you trying to say here, muttering to yourself in a group full of strangers, my guy?
Who might you be?
Just a researcher, nothing more.
What was his problem?
Sir Noah, I could use some fresh air, if you don't mind.
But of course, let us take a break outside.
Poor Frederica, man. Like, props for her on wanting to come here and put up with this shit, 'cause I'm sure she knew she was going to. How are you faring, Frederica? Better than before, thank you, but I should like to rest in the shade for a spell. But of course, rest as long as you like. I should take a moment to get to know the city. Alright, merchants! Some merchants are open for business during the exploration phase and may be selling rare items you'll not find at the provisioner in the encampment. It would be wise to speak with any shopkeepers you meet. Very well, I will keep this in mind. How are you doing though, Frederica? You clearly wish to talk. I always knew that the goddess and her followers looked upon the Roselle with disdain, yet I cannot help but worry for my people. Okay. The sins they atone for are not their own. One cannot help but wonder why they must continue to pay for them. This has less to do with the goddess's teachings than it does producing salt. It makes me wonder why other citizens do not labor at the source. And I find it difficult to understand why, in this nation that touts equality, the Roselle must suffer such discrimination. I feel like this is the option Sereno would go with. He doesn't know much about Hyzant, so like, as far as we know, he doesn't know anything about what the Roselle's sins are, so bringing that up would be weird. And while I can see the logic, it's a little bit of a leap to immediately start implying, like, well, they just keep the Roselle suppressed for slave labor so that they can make more salt. You know, which is definitely what this middle option is implying, so I'm going to go with the third option. I suppose my ancestors did something so unforgivable that we have yet to earn the goddess's forgiveness. But the Roselle who committed those crimes have long since passed. In House Wolfort, people are judged by their deeds, not the circumstances of their birth. Fair enough. That would lead us back inside the Ministry. I saw a glowy here. Yes, HP recovery pellet. Let's go. It's rare for foreign dignitaries to be allowed into the Ministry. Take your time looking around. Well, thank you, friendly and helpful guard. Whoa, look at this. Very nice in here. Very cozy. It is thanks to the Hierophant that we want for nothing. Uh-huh. Yeah, but someone's got to suffer for that, right? It's never just that easy. Hey, Huet! From the source to the shield and the thriving city between them, I can scarcely decide what has me most impressed. I can only imagine the people feel the same way, judging by the smiles on their faces. Maybe. Maybe. I thought I saw something... Oh, up on this rooftop I saw something glittering. Nice! HP recovery pellet. Let's go. Have you seen the great big wall around the city? That's called the Goddess's Shield. It protects us and the salt from any who would do us harm. Yes, indeed, indeed. Somehow I get the feeling they care more about the salt than they do you, but... Hello, itinerant merchant. What can I acquire from you? We've got 1,780 coin. That's not bad. He sells large HP recovery pellets. That's cool and all. Oil jugs. Renders the selected square flammable. That could be interesting. And then he has just supplies in general. These supplies are the same price as the ones that we would get from the merchant in the camp, but they probably have different stock. So, let's get some iron. And if I remember correctly, Frederica requires fiber for her tome. And this way, we could get upgrades. We could upgrade Serenoa's sword and Frederica's book, for example. I don't quite remember what some of the other characters use, but they're two of our primary damage dealers anyway, so I'd like to get them boosted up. I also wouldn't mind... Actually, can we... It said eligible units. Ah... Look at that. Benedict, Gila, Anna, and Eridor. Benedict and Huet. So we don't even need to go... Very cool. We don't even need to go back to any of the other menus to see who needs what upgrade materials. We can just look here. With that said, it looks like Huet requires fiber and timber to upgrade her bow. So let's get a piece of timber, and then if we can find money, we'll be able to get a piece of fiber at the camp. Again, assuming that these are separate stocks. And then we could do some upgrades with her as well. Hyzant is a blessed nation, one where every person lives in peace. But if you happen to see anyone suspicious, be sure to alert the nearest sentry. Interesting. Can't be that peaceful if you're worried about that. Could the streets really be that safe in a city this wealthy? Wish I could say the same of Glenbrook. Speaking of which, we should get ourselves some souvenirs before we head home. I'm sure your father'd be happy to know you thought of him. Fair enough. I guess I can keep my eye out. In Hyzant, the goddess's teachings determine where you work. Even at the Ministry of Medicine, you are only allowed to research subjects dedicated or decided by the goddess, though I cannot deny the significance of their results. You're from here originally, aren't you, Gila? Ooh, timber. I figured she'd have a little bit more to say about it than that. The goddess is on our side. Should another war arise, I know she would ensure the Holy State's victory. Yeah, fair enough, buddy. So basically what we're hearing is they have a caste system here, which is unfortunate. And obviously there are some people who are unhappy with that, like our researchers. Mr. Exarm is always thinking of ways to make our nation even greater. He may be young, but he is still a role model to us all. Though it seems he views Minister Sorsley with distaste. I had heard that Minister Exarm was in charge of military and diplomatic affairs, but it seems he goes above and beyond for his nation. I can't help but wonder from where his aversions to Minister Sorsley stem. Ah, interesting. Okay. Hello, Exarm. Everyone in Hyzant knows the goddess's teachings. Obey the teachings and serve your nation, and you shall receive the goddess's blessing. It is not wealth that drives Hyzant, but the faith and happiness of her people. Uh-huh. But what is it that brings the people such happiness? I thought the answer differed from everyone. It seems idealistic to think a nation can be built on faith alone. If the people are left dissatisfied, will their faith not waver? But we cannot ignore wealth's importance in the equation. How has the Holy State achieved such balance? These are all good questions, and I think all fairly fitting to Serenoa. I think I can see him saying any of these, or at least our version of Serenoa. We've had him be kind of slick with economics and whatnot. Let's ask about the wealth. Needless to say, our wealth springs from the source. The Roselle work there tirelessly, day after day, harvesting salt to atone for their past sins. Okay, yeah, there's that. We believers offer our prayer up to the goddess who bestows her blessings upon us. Those blessings, in turn, bring us happiness. As long as one believes in the goddess here, wealth and happiness will naturally follow. I see. Thank you, Minister. Do the Saintly Seven have the people completely under their thumb? Seems that way. And definitely seems like there's slave labor with our, a side of slave labor with our caste system here. This is just between you and me, but not everyone is happy with the Hierophant. Though I honestly don't understand why. And why even bring it up to an outsider nonetheless? Sorsley's guard captain. Hyzant is a wonderful city. Please enjoy your time here to your heart's content. However, I ask that you not interrupt Minister Sorsley's work. And please stay away from the source. Interesting. I believe the source is a river. As one of the Saintly Seven, I manage the production and shipment of salt. That is to say, I single-handedly bear the burden of Hyzant's finances. I can only imagine I was bestowed with such a venerable position in recognition of my unwavering faith to the goddess. Minister Sorsley oversees all Hyzant's dealings in salt, the foundation of their nation's wealth. It is a crucial job, even among the Saintly Seven. True enough, true enough. Ask you to turn back. Source is just ahead, but you'll have to turn back. Patrol around the source is always tight. You cannot pass through here. Okay, I get it. Jeez. Must be nice having freedom to roam about another's nation. Are you jealous, my guy? The source? Sorry, can't say I know much about it. It's a sacred place that a select few are allowed to enter. Fair enough. Have we talked to you, Roland? I don't think we have. The goddess's teachings condemn the Roselle to backbreaking labor at the source to atone for the crimes of their forebears. I know it's the way of their nation, and yet it doesn't sit well with me. Pray, take care of Lady Frederica. I've no doubt this weighs heaviest upon her. True, I can definitely see that. Alright, I think we're ready to pack it in here. Let's go. I had best regroup with the others.
We got our hands on a fine souvenir, thanks to Lady Frederica.
Aha!
It is quite the feat indeed. Serenoa has terrible taste when it comes to gifts.
Thank you indeed, Frederica.
It was my pleasure.
Should we ask Minister Lila about what ails Lord Simon?
No. Even now, Lord Simon commands great influence. We cannot let others know about his condition.
I understand. Not even our allies can know of our weaknesses, lest they use them against us.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, man.
Indeed. We cannot risk exposing ourselves to such danger, for the young lord's sake as well.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What was that?
It appears there is a stir around the ministry.
I shall investigate.
Things are happening! But what could be happening is the real question. Battle time is happening, baby. Okay, so let's zoom out here. Alright, nothing else here. So here's what we're going to do. Before we go in there, we have just a little bit of time. So we're going to go back to the encampment, and we're going to take care of a couple of things. Specifically, there's a few characters here who we've not yet interacted with. Obviously, our merchant friend is here, and our blacksmith is here, and we have work to do with him. But we have this fine gentleman here. Welcome to the sundry shop. You can exchange your kudos for special wares here. House Wolfort's always treated me well. If there's aught I can do to repay your kindness, you need only ask. You'll be able to promote units' classes here, too. Fear not, I'll let you know when one of your comrades is ready. Very well. At the sundry shop, you can exchange kudos for items and promote your allies. Nice. So we can see here that, well, the trading post operates on kudos. We can get quietuses, which are a whole nother kettle of fish that we're not even going to worry about until we can use them. And then we can get medals, which is what we use to promote our units. So we currently have 49 kudos available to us. We cannot get an extra quietus point, and we can't afford any of these quietus abilities. So we're not going to worry about it at the moment. We can, however, get all of these things, and I think we're going to pick them all up. The history of Glenbrook. Whoop. Development of the Norzelia Consortium, the Eternal Norzelia River, Secret Tactics Scroll of Heaven, and a Cursed Cask. All have been acquired. Very nice, very nice. So we'll have to check those notes out at a later date. And we can go into our promote class here, and the only reason to be here right now is so we can look at a character and get this tutorial. Every unit has a class, and each class is divided into ranks: Recruit, Veteran, and Elite. Promoting a unit will increase both their stats and maximum TP and unlock new acquirable abilities. Raising a unit's class also changes their appearance in battle. You can only promote a unit's class if they are at or above the specified level and you have the appropriate medal. Promoting a unit's class will consume the medal. So basically what you need to know is every single one of our units at the current moment needs to be at level 10 to promote to their next class. And every single one of them requires a Medal of Bravery as well, which tells me that Medal of Bravery is just the first medal, and then there's another medal for the next promotion, and if there's a promotion after that, so on and so forth. So probably not going to be worried about this for a hot minute, but you never know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But there's a lot that happens when you promote. We will worry about it when we get there. We also need to go and talk to the tavern keeper here, the spirited barkeep. Well, if it isn't Lord Serenoa, welcome to the Encampment Tavern. Wolfort soldiers will have a place to relax so long as I'm around, and I plan on sticking with you till the end. Perhaps you ought to consider dropping in for a drink and a chat every so often too, my lord. I think we could probably do that. You can engage in mental mock battles at the tavern. Each battle is different, so choose the one that best suits your aims. Proficiency in melee combat will prove key to victory. Cut your teeth in this small arena before moving on to more advanced trials. And pincer attack. The enemy troops are divided into 2 regiments. Think carefully about your approach before deploying. Things will quickly turn sour if you become surrounded, so pay attention to enemy positions. Those are optional battles, and I haven't actually tried them. They were available in the demo as well. But I think since there's no major story implications, unless there's like a particularly interesting challenge, I'll probably just do them off camera, just to get levels and stuff for our characters. They seem like good opportunities to grind up levels a little bit, which is good, because I don't know if you noticed, but the recommended level for the battle is 4. And our team is 3 and 2, so we need to fix that a little bit. I will tell you right now in the demo, that battle absolutely rocked me. So I'm probably going to do those battles off camera before I go and do the battle in Hyzant, but we'll see. We'll see. What I do want to do is upgrade our characters here. So we could upgrade Huette, get her more damage, more accuracy, which would probably be good. HP, physical defense, or luck. She was missing a lot of attacks on us before, so I wouldn't mind upping her accuracy, but, you know. We also have Frederica, who could get weapon potency, or increased fire damage when it's clear weather, which sounds cool, or your standard defense and HP increases. Roland could get increased weapon damage, HP, defense, magic defense, and increases your luck at max HP, which is interesting. I don't know how much of an increase that is, but since you have to be at max HP, I would hope that it would be quite good. And then finally, Serenoa, who has all of the previously mentioned abilities. So I think right now I really want to be able to rely on Huette to hit things. So we're going to get her an accuracy upgrade. Then, that unfortunately takes Frederica out of the running because we can't... We don't have any more fiber. And at the moment we can't afford to buy more because then we won't be able to get an upgrade. So, let's look at Roland and Serenoa here. They both require iron, and they're both good damage dealers. So really it's just a question of who do we think is going to be dealing damage more often. And I think that's likely to be Serenoa, especially because we want to be positioning him to maximize on the amount of follow-up damage that he can do. So we'll be putting him in some fairly aggressive positions. So we're going to increase his damage, and then we're probably going to want to look at increasing defense for him later. But as you can see, it's going to take a lot of materials, so it'll be a minute before we can do that. But not bad, though. Not bad. I am happy to take those upgrades, and also, now that I think about it, we have one other thing as well, which is an accessory. Yeah, this HP ring that increases our HP by 10, which is not bad. That's an eighth of Serenoa's total HP prior to putting the ring on. So, and again, seeing as how we're planning on having him in some fairly aggressive positions, having some better HP on him seems like it'd be a good thing. So we'll throw that on there. And with that, I think we're going to draw this one to a close. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. I do very much appreciate it. If you know someone that you think would enjoy this series, or any of my other content, if you could shoot them a link, that'd just be swell. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you could, watch another. There's plenty of good options in the description down below, and on the channel as a whole. So if you haven't seen one of those series, check them out. It'll help me out a lot. With all of that said, though, I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye now.